to have relinquished their control of the checks and balances. We have the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. And from the outside appearance, it looks to me like they willingly, in the last hours or the last minutes of session, gave up those rights. And with those rights they gave up were mine. They were yours. They were the right or the obligation to represent their constituents. In all fairness to Senator Farrin, and we've had a number of conversations, please be respectful. Brad is a U.S. Air Force veteran. He was, we call him Command Sergeant Majors in the other military. I don't know what. Yeah, the Navy. So he's going to give you a brief, and then he is willing to take questions that you have. But please be respectful. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. So listen, if my view of things are a little bit warped as a first-term legislature, when I retired in 2013, they made me set beside Larry Dunphy in the House of Representatives. So he was my mentor. So if that tells you anything. So listen, there's a couple things. This isn't a political speech on this piece. Right now, the problem is across the way. I'm going to tell you my view on the legislature, but there are so many things in this turnout. Why you folks are all here today? It's businesses, it's our families, it's our friends, it's our religious freedoms. You can go to Hobby Lobby, but you can't go to church and sit in a pew. There are so many things. One of the reasons, so I'm going to address Larry's comment. He's right. When this coronavirus first started, we were in session. And I have had to do a 180-degree change, because when I see my family and friends in Norwich Walk, my fiance Lynn and I live on the Kennebec River, is that I always sit at the post office in the morning and say, how is it going in Augusta? And I said, when we're not there, we're not doing any harm to the citizens of Maine. And I lived that way for the last 5.5 years as a legislature. If you're not there, you're not doing harm. I have had to take a 180-degree change on that. And I'm calling for the Speaker of the House and the Senate President to call us back into session. We need the checks and balances. And not just because of what the governor's doing with his executive order, but also what's happening with the Department of Labor. I got up this morning and watched the news, and I saw our commissioner of the DOL say, hey, be patient. You don't have to rush for your benefits. It's been 6 weeks. Oops. People are out of money. People are struggling. Businesses are closing. And the Department of Labor says, don't rush to it. We'll get to you. They have no idea what is going on. Representing one of the poorest districts in the state of Maine, I hear from Jackman all the way down through, and this 14 days, opening the business, there's not going to be an economy left to come back to, folks. That's a fear. So I'm going full circle. So Larry's right. On that time, we voted to adjourn and to leave Augusta. And I pressed my button to do that. We were talking about flattening the curve, doing what I had no comprehension of what this governor was going to do. Not including the legislature, not including her own advisors, and I don't know if there's an ultimate plan, but we need to go back into session to have our checks and balances in our state government. And I believe that 100%. And that's hard for me to say, because I truly sometimes think we do more harm when we're there, and it's happened. So with that being said, what can you do, right? Is that if you have legislators, and not everybody, this whole thing, I guarantee you, there's Democrats and independents and Republicans and everything. I've heard a lot of political stuff,